Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Eye Opener Society, and welcome back to one of our behind the scenes things where Lizzie and I are just sitting here and chatting. And we bring you this because there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes when we're trying to bring you, whether it's our podcast, whether we're trying to bring you our ministry. There's so much. And the fun thing is, Lizzie actually contacted me, and today is a Sunday and a recording. We normally don't record on Sundays. And I thought she had a topic. She thought she had a topic. It turned out she didn't. So we just started chatting with what's going on behind the scenes. But right now, Lizzie, you were discussing this Discord that you're trying to get together. Do you want to tell everybody? You want to talk to me a little bit more about it? Because I think this is going to be something pretty big for us.
Yeah, so I've been building this for a while. But the thing is sometimes cosmically you're building things you don't quite see. The thing is everywhere that I look is a bunch of very beautiful, amazing souls who just kind of are forced to isolate because the people around them don't understand the spiritual journey they're going through. And the thing is when I consume content that like references like Gnostic texts or any of the like ancient traditions, it's all focused on isolating to correct yourself. Getting back to center, staying with people and situations that allow you to stay centered. But the thing is that's great if your life is going to be in that tiny little zone. But the truth is most of us are people. You know what I mean? We want to be around the people. We want to be interacting. There's something fulfilling about connecting with other humans. Maybe it's like part of what we're doing. I don't know. You can get into like all kinds of theories with that. But the problem is I think we're all stuck in a spot where we understand a lot of things in theory. We understand a lot of things in isolation. But we're now in a phase where as we're coming together, we reach all this tension and nobody seems to really know what to do with it. Everybody's got their own perspective of truth, but truth isn't articulatable. And so it's like all the communities that I've seen, and I'm sure there's other people who have done this, but all the communities that I see are focused around people learning truth, which is the goal, but it's more like learning your own truth. So like when we were arguing, who was right? Neither of us. Neither of us were. That's why we never came to a conclusion. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter. It's all meaningless, whatever it is that we do from here. But by looking at your perspective and me looking at my perspective and we go back and forth, we have the opportunity to expand. Whereas if we were operating our businesses like the church, like two separate churches, we would never have that opportunity to expand together. It would just be whatever you think is best and what you see out in the world. But the problem is what you see is only what you already know. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, tension with other people, it explodes. It always explodes. Or I cut it short. Those are the two truths. But you and I managed to do like the tension where we did neither. And we just like did the tension and neither got real upset or anything. And see the thing is I know how to do this myself when I'm arguing with myself. I know how to do this with strangers. It's hard when you're building things with people that you care about. It alters things. But you and I also are friends. We're cross country. We're also operating this church business thing kind of separately, kind of together, which gives a unique perspective for me in not having to learn this tension with somebody that, depending on how it goes, changes everything. No matter how our argument went, it changed nothing. Do you know what I mean? And so it did something for me and giving me the opportunity to now feel that. And so then when I go out into the world and I experience tension with other people who maybe I struggle more because there's like all these meanings attached to it. I now have an awareness of a different frequency in my body than I would have before. And so that's where everybody, I think, is quote trapped, is in this loop of where you know just enough that like you've got it, but you can't do it with other people fully because it's different in application. It's different in what we're expanding.
And to kind of fill everybody in, just in case they did not hear the sermon, our last Thursday night sermon went off pretty well. And normally, what we were planning on doing was just like we're doing now, is giving this little behind the scenes. My only problem with Thursday was when I hit stop recording, it did not stop recording, which was fine because we were going to do the behind the scenes anyway. And I just want to reconfirm that this was not really an argument. There was a little bit of friction because we both had a difference of opinions on some. But here's the beautiful thing. When I played it back afterwards, I said, all right, I'm just going to leave it all because I don't get it. Some people just don't read synopsises, I guess, because it literally said in the synopsis, we have a Thursday sermon and then we have the behind the scenes afterwards. I said it was a very candid discussion. And that's what I like because, yes, for the first time, now, I don't know if you noticed, as of today, this was our 1 year friend anniversary on TikTok, which
Yeah, I did see
yeah,
that.
okay. And I was excited to see that because I said, wow, it's been 1 year since I've actually known you. And look at everything we've done together. Look at where we wound up in just 1 year. It's not a lot of time, but we also became extremely close friends. And this was the first time I had to engage with you where you were very adamant about something and you were on a different frequency that I was not prepared for. And that was fantastic. And I love the fact that we were able to record that. I'm glad that that recording actually went through. It's just all on one episode. So check it out on Thursday night sermon, the long one, I think it's a 45-minute one. Because right after the sermon, which was only like 20 minutes, the rest was just Lizzie and I getting into all this because it all started with a discussion of where are we going to take our lives to get more of an audience. So now when Lizzie's talking to me about Discord is something I was kind of opposed to at first because I said, well, we're going to have to get everybody from our, platform over to Discord. But I said, you know what? Just like TikTok, well, we're going to get a new audience on top of whom we already have. So, and the fact that Lizzie said she was going to do all of the hard work for this, which is awesome too, because I don't really know where to start, but Lizzie actually has a plan and she has the whole setup in her head. And that's going to be a beautiful thing. And I'm going to be very excited to be on board with it because we started that already and it just went on a different path. And so now we're just going to clean things up and we're going to have a Discord channel just for this kind of thing. Like Lizzie said, we can all argue, but that arguing is going to bring us into a new realization of ourselves, the other people, the community, the society. It keeps getting bigger and bigger because we are all on different frequencies, but we are all one of the same. Lizzie's words.
Yeah, because exactly we weren't arguing, but we were allowing the disagreement to happen. We were allowing the other person to authentically say whatever we want, and then we allowed ourselves to say, I think that's wrong, and I think I'm right. And then we got to just exist in that, and then we both learned so much. And I think that that's like the perfect kind of starter point to the community, is because that's the thing is everything that I see teaches you to let go of resistance. You know what I mean? Allow everything to flow. And that is so important to learn how to do. Absolutely. But at some point, you got to learn how to flow through the tension because that's where things like really build. You know what I mean? And it's all in your definition and your ability to find people who are playing the same game as you. And that's what I've been doing. As I've been redefining things, but I've been redefining it alone, which means my reality and my personal world don't operate the same because my nervous system has learned how to believe one thing inside my body and expect another from outside. So they operate on two different frequencies. And the only way to combine that is to find people playing the same game as you.
And this is why I'm really looking forward to the future with this Discord. And it's going to be in conjunction with everything else that we have. So just in case there are people listening now saying, oh, I'm not going to go onto another platform, that's fine. You don't have to. We can get new audience. But you're more than welcome to join us on there because it's going to build and since I did look into Discord before, Discord is great for that kind of community. There's all separate threads you could have and all. One person could help a whole group out while another group can help one person out. It can be set up in so many different ways, and I'm looking forward to this. And going back to our argument, what people also don't know is that it continued the next day, but not in any kind of argument. It was like we understood so much about each other that we were explaining ourselves, and not in a way where it's saying, well, yeah, you were right, but we were explaining ourselves, saying, well, this is just the way things were. This is how we came together, different separate ideas, and probably neither one of them worked out because our frequencies were just off, on the whole idea of the thing. So it gave us that chance to sit and actually learn even more about each other so that for when this happens again, we're already going to expect it. We're already going to expect it. But Lizzie, don't ever let it happen again because I'm tired of dealing with you.
I'll do my best, but I'm an intense person, so
Yes, and that's the very first thing that Lizzie explained, that she's a very intense person. But what she doesn't realize is, like, if I was really to argue, you want to see intense. But we didn't have to get to that point. We're too close of friends to get to that point, but we can sit and have these extreme differences in opinion, and to where, hey, maybe I'm right, or maybe she's wrong, or maybe she's right, and maybe we just didn't know, but we came to this wonderful conclusion that, we're going to sidetrack everything because unless something miraculous came out of this where everything works out, we didn't find that avenue. And that's good because you know what? The more you think about it, chances are it probably would not work because we were on such a different frequency with it. So that's what this Discord, I believe, is going to bring together. And it's not, listen, I don't want a place for everybody to get together and argue, but we do
no, no.
want to, right. I don't want that. I want it to be a place where we come together and just share these ideas because some people have ideas that are working so well in their head, but when it's presented to an audience of any kind, there will be friction because some people are going to sit there and say, well, I don't believe anything. And I go through that every day with some of my thoughts, the way I think in reality. Well, like when I'm off the show, I have differences of opinions and I can bring it forward and people are going to not like it or like it, but it doesn't matter. They're still my thoughts, my theories, and nothing can change that. And shame on you if you're trying to, but it's good that we all talk about it and bring something new to the table and bring a new way of thinking to the table. And I think that's exactly what this Discord is going to do.
Yeah, not a place to argue, a place to explore what you're disagreeing with. Because, like in our quote argument, I was very like anti, doing our sermon on TikTok because the energy. And you're like, well, lazy, where it's already basically the same thing on YouTube. And I was like, oh, well, why do I still have a problem with TikTok? I still don't entirely know what it is. I think it's just a vibe, but it's something I'm now exploring because if I'm experiencing resistance on it, obviously there's something in there that I'm going to benefit from, whether I do TikTok or I just like open the idea of it. I'm blocking something off for myself. That's why there's resistance. And so I personally like to explore these things. It's like a tool, like everything else that you're doing.
Right. And I like that too, because I'm the same way. And like, afterwards I said, well, I don't like the TikTok either. That's always been my thing. Even back when we met Hannah Rose, I met her because of negative energy that was coming across on her very positive um, reels and all. So I do feel exactly the same way with that. So, we shelve it for now. We have our own, platform. So I don't care really, but it's just nice to connect with more and more people. And
Mhm.
that's going to be the purpose of that Discord. And I'm looking forward to that new learning curve for me. Cause like I said, I never really dove deep into it, but I think it'll be perfect. It's there. It's another tool, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to a lot of things. I know Lizzie and I were talking about this season that's coming up and the people that we're trying to get on our show. I don't want to make any announcements because I haven't confirmed anything yet, but we are working on something right now that's very, very big in this whole spiritual and metaphysical community. The 21st century witch hunts that are still going on, and there is a case in court that's going to be I think it's in July. I actually might go to that court case and sit in on it myself. I think for support. Like I said, I don't want to give away too much of it until I get some confirmation. And I do apologize for all this autofocus on the camera, but I I think Lizzie and I we're going to be shooting for the stars. We're going to be bringing you a lot more, especially a lot more of this behind the scenes stuff because it's good to see how we all interact. And listen, I'm also trying very hard too to get Halos back on some of these conversations, as well as Elaine. But everybody in this ministry, they're on their own time, and I'm not forcing anything. As much as we love them, we got to give them that space and allow them to come in naturally. So I want to look for all of that. What else are you looking forward to there, my friend?
Unfolding my quantum origami.
I knew you, and that's probably going to be the hardest thing. It's going to be, listen, it's, and I'm going right back to this thing that we've met a year ago, only a year ago. Holy
I
shit.
know, I thought we already hit that for some reason.
Same here. Who knows, but we really did. We started something from you just became another co-host on my show, and then here we are. We're a ministry. We have built something, and then never mind the show. It's just you and I. Everything. When I first met you, again, same joke over and over again. I had to make an appointment to text you. Now, now here we are. We can't shut up, and we're getting into arguments. It's expanded beautifully, and I'm so happy for it. I'm so happy for your friendship, and congratulations on the 1 year of dealing with each other. I guess.
Well, it's been lovely. It's been lovely.
Yeah, it certainly has been. And I can't thank TikTok enough. I've met some incredible people, and Lizzie's absolutely the most amazing one. And who knows? Who knows what's going to happen down the line? How many other beautiful people we're going to find, whether they're on TikTok, whether they're on our platform, whether it's going to be through Discord. We never know. But we're always on this, search for people that are on the right frequency with us. And I hope that we can find more of you. I know you're all out there, and gosh, and my future, the way it looks, I know I already have a whole handful of people too, extremely supportive, and we're going to hear from them. So I want to get all that set up little by little. Just don't want to overwhelm myself or my buddy Lizzie. So with that, but did you have anything else you want to bring to the table today, or I think this was
No,
a pretty cool.
I think that was beautiful. I just look forward to doing this again on Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll have a topic on Tuesday and we'll have a regular show. But I'm looking forward to bringing you more of these behind the scene conversations, no matter what frequency they're on. They're really insightful because it gives people an idea of just what goes on inside of people's heads. And I think it's a reflection of the entire world sometimes. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the downloads. Don't forget to visit AppalachianRootworks.com. Carly and Carla, we're looking forward to actually having both of them on our show for the first time in an official capacity where they can actually meet Lizzie. So we look forward to that. And everybody, take care, go in peace, and we love you all.